Imagine this, a place where satellite images are mysteriously blurred, where almost no one is allowed to go without permission from governments, where strange, perfect pyramid shapes appear under thousands of meters of ice, where rumors talk about Nazi bases, UFOs, and ruins of an ancient civilization older than anything we know. Antarctica is not just a lot of ice. It is the most remote, the most restricted, and maybe the most mysterious place on Earth. What are they really hiding down there? Today we dive into the forbidden truth. We'll talk about strange satellite anomalies, military operations that make no sense, and evidence that suggests Antarctica might hold the key to a lost chapter of human history. Stay with me until the end, because the deeper we go into this ice, the stranger it gets. Officially, Antarctica is simple, a giant frozen desert at the bottom of the planet. 93% of it covered by ice, up to 1.5 kilometers thick on average. It holds about 90% of all fresh water on Earth, but almost no one lives there. Scientists at a few research stations, maybe 1,000 people in summer, 200 in winter, all doing peaceful science. That's the story we're given. But if Antarctica is just ice, why are there so many military bases, disguised as research stations? Why do so many countries insist on controlling who can go there and what they can film? Why were certain areas on satellite maps blurred or updated with strangely low-resolution images? And why, back in the 1940s, did one of the largest naval operations in history sail straight to Antarctica right after World War II ended? The official explanations sound neat, but the details raise more questions than answers. Let's start from one of the strangest things, the Antarctic pyramids. Around the 2010s, people noticed something weird on satellite images. 3 almost perfect pyramid-shaped mountains, rising out of the ice, with angles alarmingly similar to the pyramids of Giza. We're talking about massive structures, hundreds of meters tall, with sides that look straight and corners that look almost too sharp to be natural. Very quickly, higher resolution images became harder to access. Official comments said, "These are just mountains. Glaciers and wind can carve triangular shapes. Yes, nature can create strange forms, but these pyramids look uncomfortably precise, almost as if someone shaped them, or as if a structure underneath the ice is forcing the ice and rock above into that shape." Then there's the location. Some of these pyramid-like peaks sit in areas connected to old expeditions, mysterious flights, and stories of anomalies under the ice. Are they just mountains? Or could we be seeing the very tops of something much bigger, buried deep below the ice sheet? Now, let's talk about one of the strangest military missions ever. Right after World War II, the United States launched Operation High Jump. Officially, it was a training exercise and a chance to test equipment in cold conditions. But look at the scale. 13 ships, dozens of aircraft, almost 5,000 men, all sent to a supposedly empty continent of ice. The operation was planned for months. It was supposed to last half a year, but it ended abruptly, much earlier than expected. Reports mention aircraft losses, a damaged ship, and unexpected resistance from weather and ice. Later, stories began to appear about strange things seen during the mission. Fast, unidentified flying objects, coming from the direction of the ice, moving in ways normal planes cannot move. Some people say these are just myths. Others believe the mission encountered something hidden under Antarctica, something powerful enough to force a retreat. We may never know exactly what happened, but one fact remains. No other training exercise in history looked quite like this. Before Operation High Jump, another power showed deep interest in Antarctica, Nazi Germany. In the late 1930s, German ships explored a region they called New Schwabenland. They flew over parts of Antarctica, dropped flags, and mapped mysterious warm areas where the ice sheet was thinner or broken apart. After the war, two German submarines surrendered months late near South America. Rumors claimed they had delivered something or someone to a secret base in the south. From that point on, stories exploded. Some say the Nazis built underground bases beneath the ice, developed flying saucer-type craft, and tested exotic technologies hidden from the rest of the world. Are these just wild conspiracy theories? Maybe, but it is true that German expeditions were very interested in Antarctica, and that many documents from that era are still classified or missing. When you combine this with later sightings of strange craft over polar regions, you begin to understand why so many people suspect that Antarctica is not just about penguins and snow. But what if the real secret of Antarctica goes much further back, long before Nazis, long before our modern nations, back to a time when the continent might not have been frozen at all? Some researchers have pointed out that certain ancient maps appear to show an ice-free Antarctic coastline. How could mapmakers from centuries ago know the shape of land that modern science only confirmed through sonar and radar in the 20th century? One idea is simple and terrifying. Maybe they didn't map Antarctica themselves. Maybe they copied information from much older sources, left behind by a civilization that lived when Antarctica was warmer, green, and habitable. We know that Earth's axis shifts slowly over time. We know continents move. We know climate can change dramatically over tens of thousands of years. So is it impossible that a highly advanced civilization once existed on what is now Antarctica? With cities, ports, and maybe even technology we would still struggle to understand today? If such a civilization existed, most of its remains would now lie under kilometers of ice, hidden, preserved, and almost impossible to reach with ordinary tools. Yet there are whispers of strange radar readings under the ice, of shapes that look too regular, too geometric, to be natural. And then there are subglacial lakes, huge bodies of liquid water trapped under the ice sheet for millions of years. In one of them, scientists reportedly found microorganisms unlike anything seen before. Then, the details went quiet. Access became restricted. Information got blurry. What else could be down there? Fossil, ruins, or evidence of something that survived from a forgotten age? What are they hiding? When you put all of this together, the blurred satellite images, the pyramid-shaped mountains, the massive military operations, the strange old maps, the secretive research on subglacial lakes, it stops feeling like just ice. Could it be that under Antarctica there are ruins of an ancient global civilization? One that knew more about our planet and about energy and about astronomy than we do today? Could there be hidden bases left from the Second World War, or even more secret programs continuing into our time? Or is there something biological, some ancient organism that governments are afraid to release, or even to admit exists? Right now, Antarctica is locked behind treaties, permissions, and restrictions. Only a tiny number of people ever get to see even a small part of it, and they mostly work for governments or large institutions. So we, the rest of the world, are left with fragments, clues, anomalies, stories that don't quite match the official picture. Maybe the truth about Antarctica is less dramatic than the wildest theories. No aliens, no ancient super cities, just politics, resources, and secrecy. But maybe, just maybe, under those kilometers of ice lies a secret big enough to rewrite human history. Until we are allowed to see for ourselves, we are stuck between science, rumor, and imagination. What do you think they're hiding under Antarctica? Alien technology? Ancient ruins? Or just the kind of truth that would shake too many beliefs at once? Let me know in the comments. If this mystery keeps you thinking after the video ends, you're definitely not alone. And if you want more deep dives into the darkest, coldest, and most forbidden corners of our world, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what comes next.